fans, to another movie review. And Dane, this one is Dungeons and Dragons. Honor Among Thieves.
Ooh, is there such a thing as Honor Among Thieves?
I don't know. You know, I played Dungeons and Dragons as a kid and loved Dungeons and Dragons. Never played as an adult.
Played a few times.
But as an adult?
No, never as an adult.
Yeah, neither have I. So, yeah, we got our Dungeons and Dragons, got Drizzt Do'Urden, got my player's handbook from high school. Or actually, when I was 12.
This is not signed by Gary himself, is it?
No.
Is that guy even alive still?
But if you take a look at it on the inside, you've got a 12-year-old JR writing his address and his phone number in there. Oh.
You got that book for $11.95.
$11.95 in Louisville, Kentucky. There we go. Yeah, that's where I was living at that time. So yeah, got a chance to play.
Apartment 1B in the Bronx or something, right?
No, it was in Louisville, Kentucky. All right. Well,
we also got Cheddar Goblin locked down this time. He's not going to break out and cause havoc.
There we go. All right, so thanks for joining us here on the Cult Lord channel. If you're new to the Cult Lord channel, please go down and hit subscribe. We're always looking for new subscribers. We put out a lot of content, daily content, and you get all that if you subscribe. We do a movie review every week. We do trailer reactions every day. We do music and comic books and unboxings and episode reviews for certain series like House of the Dragons and The Last of Us. So we got some really cool stuff coming up, some interviews coming up. Won't say who, quiet for now, but we're in the works of trying to get some interviews scheduled. So but subscribe to the Cult Lords and you'll get that. Then hit like and tell us in the comments, what did you think of Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves? Did you like it or dislike it? Are your feelings in line with the Cult Lord's feelings? Only time will tell.
Or are you one of those nitpicking critics?
Yes. Well, we will see. Well, first, Dane, why don't you tell us what we're drinking for this?
Yeah, so we're drinking something special for this one. Violon. This is a cognac blend liqueur. Very tasty. Very on the... definitely sippable, but on the sweeter side.
Very spicy, too.
Got some spice
to it.
Luxurious aromas of vanilla spice and toasted oak. But good stuff, cool label, and, it looks perfect for a D&D movie.
I do recommend tasting this because it is a unique spiced drink that I haven't tasted before, so it's really good. All right, so just as a warning, we're not going to talk about this movie, and that means we're going to go into spoiler zone.
What?
We're going to drop some major spoilers on you.
Rip your red shirts off.
If you have not seen this movie yet, you might want to wait before you watch this review because we're going to talk about everything that happened in this movie.
All the deets.
And give you all the deets. So just let it be known, you have been warned.
Entering the deet zone.
All right. So, Dane,
yes,
we usually like to start this movie review off by giving you our Cult Lords ratings right up front, tell you how we feel about it.
Right in your face.
And then we like to then work our way back and tell you how we got to those scores. But before we do the Cult Lords ratings...
What?
I always like to share the Rotten Tomato scores.
Yes.
See what the zeitgeist is thinking about it. So, Dane,
what
do you think the critics gave Dungeons and Dragons?
I have a feeling they went harsh on this one. I'm going to go 81%.
81% for the critics. All right, what do you think the audience and fans...
95.
95.
And I don't look. No idea what these are.
81 and 95?
Yep.
Well, guess what? The critics gave this a 91%.
Well, I was off by 10. They weren't so bad.
No, they liked it. And the audience gave it a 94%.
Ah, okay.
So 91 and 94.
That's interesting, because I would have thought critics kind of would have went all over the place on this one. But that's cool.
It's certified fresh. So 91%, 94%.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the Cult Lords ratings.
Yes.
And, oh my gosh, wait, what's that sound?
I don't know.
A date.
What? What is that?
It's the Orb of Summoning.
Someone's calling us?
Somebody is calling us from the past.
Let me get out the wizardry stick of power and see if I can get this portal open.
Open that portal now. I see.
Let's see.
I think it's us.
It's
Dane.
us.
It's JR and Dane from the past. They're trying to contact us. Hey guys, it's us. It's JR and Dane from the future. Can you hear us?
What's that?
It's us.
What's
Can
that?
you hear us? It's
Dane,
us.
I think
What?
it's Dane and JR from the future.
Yes.
Yes.
We are Dane and JR from the past.
Keep it
Oh.
straight.
Yes. We just got out of Dungeons and Dragons.
So
Yeah.
what are your
What's
initial
that?
thoughts?
They want to know what we thought, just initially.
Oh, initial thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not official cult lord rating.
No,
we're
that
doing
would be in the
we're doing
future.
that.
So we're talking to these. Are they talking to us straight from the future to the
Yes.
past?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was
Talking
to the portal.
confused.
Yeah.
Confused.
Yeah.
Great movie. Thought it was a great job and everything. It did really cool action scenes
Yeah.
and character development was good. I mean, I thought they did a great job.
I tell you what, way better than I thought it was going to be.
Me too.
Someday
Me
I still
too.
hope for a very serious Dungeons and Dragons movie.
That's my only complaint.
But-
No blood.
But you know what? I totally dug this comedy. It was well-written comedy.
Yeah.
And we were laughing our butts off at the theater. The theater was laughing. The visuals were amazing for the world building.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
The
It
way
was
they were
just-
following people around
Yes.
as it was flying in and out of things.
You
There's
guys-
all this like
What?
real.
Would you guys recommend this?
What's that? Oh, you're asking us, if we would recommend this movie.
Oh, would we recommend this
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Pretty
Nice.
much all ages
We'll
on
go
this
see it
one
then.
because
Yeah,
they
we're
really
gonna go
build
see
off
it.
on the uber, gore or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Across
And it
the
was
street.
clever. There
Yeah.
was a lot of well-written scenes and funny, like you pointed out, like sequences that you're like, well, that was somebody really has played a lot of D&D.
Yeah. Well, it was really good. And speaking of D&D, Dane,
Yes.
what did we get here?
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
If we
What
could
you guys
get
got?
something
What'd you
here.
get? What'd you get? Let me
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, in the past they were not giving these
What
out.
is
It's
that?
what is it? A 20-point. It's a
20
20-side
20
die.
side
You
die.
can't really see it
Oh.
too well, but I'll
Yeah.
send it to you guys through the portal.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
You guys take it into the future.
Oh!
And show it in the future.
Oh my God! Look
Look
at
at that
this.
thing.
I'll guard it with my life.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
If that didn't blow your mind,
All right.
I don't know what did.
Well, we are going to go maybe grab something to eat or something.
Okay.
But thanks for having us on your show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Our
hey,
show.
Your show too.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
But now,
Wait a
now your
minute.
show.
Now it's my show. Yeah,
See,
your show.
we're going to take from the past and give to the future.
Nice. You guys are still
I guess
handsome,
this
by
is
the
called
way.
Pay It Forward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, well, thanks, future JR and Dane. Thanks
You're
for having
welcome.
us on your show.
Come
And if
back
you haven't
anytime.
already, make sure everyone in the future subscribes to the Cult Lords.
There you go. All
We
right.
agree.
Well, we're gonna go through this portal now.
Oh,
Bye.
okay. Oh, it's getting small. It's gone.
It's gone.
Wow.
Wow, that was cool.
That
Look at
was
this thing.
cool. All right.
I didn't
Well,
know we could transfer something through a portal like that, but you learn something new every day.
it was great. So great to talk to
I know,
ourselves.
man.
Right?
We've never looked so good before.
I
The
know.
past is good to our complexion.
I didn't realize that our first online interview would be with ourselves.
agree.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's making me cough.
Oh, so what is
Something
this
in
that
here,
they
some kind
passed
of
us?
powder from the past.
Oh, what is it?
Well, it's a 20-point die, and it looks like here.
let's
Hold
open
that.
this
Let's
up.
open this puppy up. Keep the plastic in case we need to keep it in storage, but
Oh,
looks like a solid piece of work here.
Oh wow!
I guess originally you could have put maybe your gemstones in there, but probably popcorn
It's for
works
popcorn,
really well.
I think. Yeah,
You can hide your gems in here.
yeah.
I wonder if this will lock down.
Oh,
actually,
you know what you can also do? You can also put your weed in here.
Oh, that's right. My weed. Oh, look
Yeah,
at that.
there-
It does
there
have
it
a
is right
hinging
there.
mechanism.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
All
cool.
right.
So you can open it up like a little for your weed. It makes it more accessible.
Here, I'll put it over here for now
Go ahead.
because we want to get to our cult lords ratings.
All right.
So,
Here, I'll put it over here. I'll put it over here. All right, you put it over there.
can you see that?
If you can get it in there, you don't want
Right next to Drizzt.
You don't want to lose the weed.
No. Oh,
Oh, don't break it. We just got this from the past through an interdimensional portal.
I wonder if we did break it, if we could go back to the past.
We probably could open the portal again and try to contact those guys.
I
They're
don't know.
cool.
All right. So,
Cult Lord ratings!
time for the cult lords ratings. We just did the Rotten Tomato scores. So let's do the Cult Lords ratings. Are you ready?
All right, here we
On
go.
the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
20 critical laugh, 9.1.
Blue. No, red.
Ah! It's a Monty Python with the wizard thing.
I was like, what does that have to do with Dungeons and Dragons? All right.
It's a wizard.
All right.
Answer me these questions 3.
Yeah.
What is your favorite color? Blue, no red. Ah!
Yeah, we've seen that movie, so I was just trying to figure out how that tied into this.
He was a wizard.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons:
Yes.
Honor Among Thieves. Dane,
Hated it.
what did you like about this movie?
Well, let's see. My smart self in the past did point out a number of things already, but definitely, the writing, definitely was exceptional. I mean, they came up with some really good character development. It was funny.
I don't want to see you die, which is why I'm going to leave the room.
Let's go!
There was some really, great camaraderie between the characters. You kind of felt like sad and happy, and you got excited about everything. The action sequences were amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the fight scenes, it was like John Wick mixed in there.
There was a little bit of that, especially like when they met the Paladin.
Yeah.
The guy from what is it? Your show?
Bridgerton.
Yeah, Bridgerton. When he fought, it was like he was like a John Wick movie fighting.
Yeah. He was very smooth. And then remember the main woman.
Yeah.
What was her name? I mean, she had some really good moves too.
Oh, that was Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And her character's name was
she was kind of like the
Holga.
Barbarian class or something like that.
Yes.
I mean, so they, you could definitely tell they put the effort in.
So what I really liked about this is I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I played Dungeons and Dragons, and my whole life I've been wanting a serious Dungeons and Dragons movie on par with Lord of the Rings, like seriousness.
Or Game of Thrones.
But you know what? They've always put out crappy, trying to be funny stuff with Marlon Wayans. Remember that one?
I never actually watched that.
It's
movie.
so bad. And then I just they actually put out another one that didn't make it to theater. It was like a made for TV movie, and it wasn't very good. So when I saw the previews for this months ago, and I saw how they were going to make it funny, I was like, oh no, they're going to go the funny route again. But I'm going to go see it because I love Dungeons and Dragons. What I was pleasantly surprised with was the humor, to me, was excellent. And I thought maybe I saw everything in the trailer. There were so many other scenes that were so much even funnier than what's in the trailer.
Protect it with your very life. I will. Hold this.
You and I saw this together, and we were laughing our butts off. And the scene that really started off the movie was when they went to the graveyard. And they
Answer 5 questions.
Yeah, they were raising the soldiers to answer 5 questions. And we were laughing our butts off. The whole theater was laughing. Yeah. And I was like, and it was like kind of a cool concept too, to like get the information you need, raise these people from the dead,
and then
skeletal warriors.
Stupidly ask the wrong question.
Well, what happens is when they realize, oh, this guy didn't see where the helmet went, so he can't help us. So they just ask normal questions and get the 5 questions out of the way.
Because they feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Like, we can't leave him out there.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, I need my question.
But there was so much other funny stuff, like when they meet the dragon's overweight, and he's like rolling around,
like
trying
dog,
to get them,
chubby dog or whatever.
And
that was funny.
There was just so many funny things, and I was like, this is so well written, and because these jokes some of them are subtle, like tongue in cheek, and like you like, did you get that one or did you not get that?
Right.
And then some are just in your face funny, but yet when they went from set to set to set and did the world building, like from like villages to castles to lava dungeons to
under caverns,
to the graveyard, to all these things. I thought the special effects were done so well, and that the world building was really done well. And I mean, I was just so surprised with that, because you would think that if they're gonna take their time to make this humorous, they're going to lack in the CGI. Or they're going to lack in the action.
Yeah, I would love to know how much was real in CGI. Because we've never seen any, like, you know, the making of, where they're like Avatar, where they're so blatantly wearing full, like, you know, rigs and whatever. You didn't get a sense of that in this one.
No.
So half those sets had to have some element of realness to them.
Like they built...
And so they were really...
Kind of like maybe have you seen how they filmed The Mandalorian? They'll build these, like, real kind of sets, and then they have, like, green screens all around them. And then, you know, when they film it that way.
So they must have learned from that and said, you're going to have something that people visually will pick up on, but then the background and everything can get filled in with all the CGI magic and all that. And I know Game of Thrones did that a lot, too.
Right.
But, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the action sequences, especially when they were chasing things and they was, like, falling through, like, you know, gone down the chimney, went through the room, came out a window, and the camera's just following them around the whole time. And obviously, they had to be CGI just to pull that off. But still, you couldn't tell. It was so realistic looking.
Right. And, you know, you had this heartfelt story with Chris Pine, his wife and his daughter.
Yeah.
Then you had friendships that he had with, you know, the bad sorcerer, his Michelle Rodriguez's character, and then they pick up Kira, the one who could change into certain creatures, and she's a shapeshifter. So you had kind of a cool, you know, group of people, and then they meet the paladin, Simon.
Right. You got...
Or not Simon, but what was his name?
Zank.
Zank. Yeah. Simon was the sorcerer that they found him like in some town trying to do some vaudeville kind of tricks, right?
Shows, exactly.
And his magic was like failing him, and
he had no confidence.
Yeah.
Lack of confidence.
Yeah. But I mean, just all those characters were great. Every single one of them. And I felt like I cared for all of them.
Yeah.
You know, the only character I really kind of thought was smarmy, and they wanted him smarmy, was the Hugh Grant character, right?
Of course.
Right. I mean, he wasn't villainous. He was just a sleazy guy, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but he definitely... Remember, he kept saying, well, you're going to die now, but I don't want to watch this, so I'm leaving the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But that's the part where it was hard for me to believe kind of thing, you know what I mean?
He would really want to stick around?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I mean, he was the con man, and he could set up his con and get away with it and all that. And they did explain a little of his backstory with him as his mom and him as a young kid and everything.
Right.
Which is kind of interesting because they
would spend the time.
Yeah, they don't normally do that.
Yeah.
And he... I mean, you know, I didn't see it coming that it was going to be like that bad.
Yeah.
I guess they hinted it. I don't know if they hinted it in the trailer, but
right.
It definitely,
but, you know,
was a surprise.
The whole kind of side story with the Red Wizards, you know, trying to take over the world, and you know,
and it was clever because that came out, kind of came out of the background.
But you know, even though they didn't focus on that and spend time with it, the female Red Wizard who was kind of trying to cultivate this.
Is that Dory?
Yeah, I thought her character was like really good for the amount of time they spent. And then when they showed the original ceremony, how they turned people into it, they were on that set, and it looked really cool, super cool. Yeah. And you know what? I went home and I thought about this movie, and I was like, where do I not like this movie? And other than the fact that I've always wanted a serious Dungeons and Dragons movie and this wasn't, I really couldn't poke too many holes in it because I was entertained from the moment it started to the end. Mm-hmm. I liked Chris Pine's character. I liked all the characters. I liked the action scenes. I liked the comedy. I liked the world building. And you know what? I cannot wait to see it again. I cannot wait to see it again.
I agree. I mean, and plus to that point, there was so much going on that you would want to see it again because we missed things.
Yeah.
I mean, like you had pointed out, so there was the labyrinth chase scene where they were all going to get killed. I didn't even realize that there was the Dungeon and Dragon troupe from the Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, so if you remember, they're in that labyrinth chase scene, and a couple of other groups are all trying to compete
together in a gladiator.
And there's a scene. I said this to you in the theater, right? I go, oh my God, it's the Saturday morning cartoon guys. So they have, the wizard has his hat. They have the little barbarian. Remember, he had his club. They have the guy who's kind of the paladin, the older boy. They had, the whole crew. And it was the Saturday morning cartoon Dungeons
Somehow
and Dragons.
I missed that. I knew it when you said it. I remember it, but I never watched it. It must have been later in the 70s.
I watched every episode of that.
Well, we're going to have to put some up.
And I think I even own it on Blu-ray.
Gather round, young adventurers. Gaze upon the crystal ball. See, you are not alone in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow. So,
Ooh,
I don't
nice.
think I've watched it since I purchased it. But
was it quality stuff? Or was it jokey?
It's a little bit of both. It's jokey and it's, and it's serious too.
Is it?
Yeah, it has a little
Okay.
bit of serious.
Okay.
More so than other kids' cartoons in
like
the 80s.
Smurfs.
Yeah. So,
Personally, that's the downfall of all Saturday morning cartoons is the Smurfs.
So yeah, there was all kinds of, if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, there was all kinds of things that they gave you shout outs to.
Right.
And little Easter eggs and monsters from the game. Like the gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
The gelatinous
very
cube
funny.
where if you got stuck in it, the acid starts to wear you down. And so in the game, if a gelatinous cube swallowed you, you literally had 15, 20 seconds to get out.
Rolling like perfect.
So yeah, everybody's attacking the gelatinous cube, trying to destroy it to get you out, or else you would be,
right.
Evaporated by the acid or whatever.
Right.
But there was
that
there
was
was the mimic. The mimic was the chest that when she opened it up, a fist came out and punched her.
In this case, it was like a mouth with a tongue, right?
Yeah. So
They did a very good job of saying, okay, we got all this stuff we're gonna bring in. So how are we gonna do that? Oh, let's make a labyrinth that everyone has to fight their way out of. I mean, that weird black leather leopard with the praying the Venus flytrap arms. I don't know what the heck that creature
No, that
was.
is an actual monster.
Yeah.
I think that's in the Fiend Folio, and I can't remember what it's called. we'll put it up here, but that's from the game too.
Yeah, I assume everything's from the game.
And then she, you remember, turned into the owl bear.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually from the game as well.
You're right.
So, it was just really interesting to see all these.
And then, when we had pointed out, remember the scene where she flips around, goes in through one portal and comes out? And then we saw that in the trailer, but I was waiting for that. When is that scene going to come out?
I was the same way. And then when it happened, we both went,
there it is. We were wondering when it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they cleverly came up with let's open a portal here and I can put it over there. And I'm assuming that's something in D&D.
Yeah.
And we could jump through that to go through that. I mean, because that in itself was just clever on clever.
Right.
Let's make this mirror or this painting have the portal, then we'll put this inside something.
Right, that was such great writing.
Right, it was great writing.
It was
really thought it through.
How to pull off a heist in Dungeons and Dragons. Right?
Right.
So how do you get to the treasure room?
Kudos to these guys for coming up with a very smart way to insert the thieves into a impregnable vault.
Right. Yeah. There was just so many things in this that.
But then when they get in the vault, they're like, "Where's the money?" So they're had a con inside of a con. So from an audience standpoint,
what happened?
And
then what happened? Remember the vault or the portal picture fell down to the ground, and so they couldn't get in because it was facing the ground. So she starts chipping away,
to try to get in
as a worm.
A worm,
yeah. So she does just in the nick of time, right?
Yep.
Man, there was so many good things in this movie. I mean, I have to say it was a shock because there's no way going into this movie I thought it was going to be this good. And when I walked out, I was like, that was one of the most fun Saturday popcorn events that I've had in a long time.
Right.
Yeah, and it wasn't a sequel.
No, I agree with you. I mean, because we came into it thinking, we know what's going to happen here.
Right.
We've seen the trailer. We've had enough exposure. You play D&D, and I, did to some level. But there's been so many video games based on this also. So it's kind of I'm coming in with a lot of preconceptions, and they blew them all away. I mean, it was totally wow.
Remember I said in the movie, they were talking on a map about going through Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, right.
I said, that's a video game.
Okay.
And in that video game, the leader of those red wizards is in that game, and he's a lich king.
Oh,
a lich leader.
Well, actually, because he raised. Well, He brought the dead up from one of that red spell, but that's true.
Yeah.
That was a Lich King.
Yeah. So,
if anything, because we obviously didn't go 10s on this.
Right.
We went down
I would never go
9-2.
10.
But I mean, I was 9-2.
I was 9-1.
9-1. I mean, so
A minus.
There was a couple of scenes. Things got a little slow at one point, because of course they had to do a little bit more character stuff. But I wish they had gone into a little bit more of the whole Red Wizards.
I know.
They showed those key scenes, but it was like, I want to see more than that. I mean,
Right.
they just had the big battle with her in the end, and that was pretty good. But it was just her.
Right.
There wasn't anybody else there. So
Right.
it was her versus everybody.
Well, and if you think about it, the main villain is Hugh Grant. So if you cut that out and made it more, maybe the Red Wizards had stolen his daughter and something like that, maybe it would seem more dire.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing
Or
there.
he realizes, because he never does he never changes, right? If I remember correctly, he's bad all the way to the end. He never actually reverses and goes after.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why they left him out. Maybe they figured, well, that's out of... Well, Hugh Grant didn't battle the Red Wizard in the end.
Oh, no.
Because then he tried to still escape with that other guy, but if I remember correctly.
Right.
So he never redeems himself. He's always bad all the way to the end.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that would have been, to your point, interesting if there was a lot more with her really doing more, like maybe Hugh Grant decides at the end to turn and go after her, and then she, I don't know, kills him or something like that. Redeems him. A little karma's a bitch there. But.
I mean, like I said, the criticism I have is I want a serious D&D movie on the par with Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And so something like Hugh Grant taking her, and then it's kind of they jokingly find their way to him and stuff like that. That wouldn't happen in my world. It would be more of a perilous thing, like maybe she was stolen by the Red Wizards, and they got to get to her, or else they're gonna turn her into a Red Wizard herself or something. You know what I mean? And be part of the cult, if you will.
Yeah.
So I mean,
cult.
So
join the cult, people.
For me, I would like to see something on that level.
Yeah,
but
agree.
it wasn't that way, and so but I accepted that. From moment one, that this was going to be jokey. And, what's so funny is, their escape from the prison, when they grab the eagle guy, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah.
And then they break out that way. And as they break out, they were like, we had granted your pardons, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they just waited a couple more seconds. Because
Exactly.
then they became wanted again, fugitives,
right. And then they, of course, learned, and they didn't allow Hugh Grant to get to do the same thing. But it was like, Jonathan, you're an idiot, and you're going to keep getting caught by these people.
Yes. So
yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. Yeah.
we
I loved it.
Let you go.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Did you like it or love it?
I loved it.
I loved it. I want to see it again.
I definitely want to see it again. By the way, did you notice who this actress is that played his daughter? She was just in a movie that we just reviewed.
Oh, I don't know.
65. She's the daughter that dies at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
yeah. All right. So she's in 65.
I don't know if she did this first or this second. I have a feeling she did this first, because the other one seemed like a bit part.
Yeah, and she looked older in that one, too, maybe. So
maybe.
I don't know. All right, well, we loved it.
Yep.
If somebody who maybe didn't play the game and you're a douchebag, maybe you would rate this movie like a 6.5 or something.
Dungeons and douchebags?
Yeah. If you're a douchebag out there, you would rate this like a 6.5 on your scale.
Right. If you're not into fantasy,
then you're just, you're just a miserable person, I think. But
But to your point, my wife does not normally go for this fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
But she said, I want to see that. And,
Yeah.
and she said that without me even saying it was a great movie. You should go see it.
Right.
So she, just from the trailer alone and the cast, it was a really good cast, said, that appeals to me. I want to watch it. And,
right.
It's funny looking. So.
Well, tell us, Cult Lords viewers, what did you think?
Yeah.
Go down and hit subscribe if you're
Use
new.
your wand to hit subscribe.
Yes.
Right there.
Use your wand to hit subscribe.
Whip it out.
Like, and then tell us in the comments, what do you rate this? I mean, did you enjoy this movie? Did you not enjoy this movie? If for some reason you didn't enjoy this movie, tell us why. I mean, what was so bad about this movie?
Because it had Dungeons and Dragons.
Right, yeah. Did you not like the campiness? Did you not like the kind of the Monty Python-esque kind of stuff?
Once again, another Chris in this movie.
What?
Chris Pine.
Yes.
One of the Chris's.
One of the Hollywood Chris's.
Yes.
Yep. So tell us in the comments what you think. And Dane,
Yes.
summon us an exit strategy.
An exit strategy?
Plan D, and if that doesn't work, Plan
Plan D.